Now, Shaurya, do you think that sometimes that goal really help us to be motivated?
Yes, uh, like uh, like if we have a goal that we have to top in the class, then it will stay. It will make us motivate. It will motivate us time to time when we are going down or losing confidence or uh, getting distracted. Uh, so it will remind us what we have to do, and we will what is the word,
Pers-
pursue our goal.
Okay, good, good, very good. Mr. Ram, do you think that as people get older, the list of their goals starts decreasing?
Yes, sir. Because as the people uh, get older, and their number of goals decreases. The reason is that everybody sets his goal according to his life which is left, and the people who get older, they think that they have not much life, so they set their goals accordingly, and which are the short term goals too. And while in the early age of life, the people get the longer goals and multiple goals. They set the multiple goals at the multiple phases of life.
Hmm, absolutely, absolutely. Mr. Shaurya, who is your role model in your life?
Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong, great. And what do you like about him? Like, why is he your role model?
Because he was the first person to go into space. No, to go on the moon. The first
Hmm,
person to go into space was Yuri Gagarin.
absolutely, absolutely. Now it is correct. Mr. Ram, and what about you? Who is your role model?
Told about this that my role model is Sachin Tendulkar, because I have seen that he is the only person who has achieved his feat, or he has reached to the top without any negative impression on him. And second thing is that when your your the second thing is that when your opponent praise you before defeating you, which is the very very best remark. I mean to say that if you are in the ring and you have not defeated your opponent, but still he is praising you. This is this is very unique, and this only happened with Sachin.
Hmm, right. Absolutely. Do you think, Mr. Shaurya, as we talked about role model. Do you think that we really need to have somebody as our role model?
Uh,
Is it?
it can be necessary because we can look into his life experiences and learn from that, and we can follow the path which they followed.
Hmm, we can follow the path which they followed. And do you think when we follow somebody, even our mind starts creating new path, all of its own?
It can.
Hmm. Okay. So, Shaurya, what is the difference between goal and dream?
uh, dream can be like something like fictional, like I want to fly, it is my dream. And goal is like we have to do something, we are dedicated towards it.
Okay, okay. It's like goal is something towards which we are dedicated, and dream is something which could be wishful thinking. We could say
Yes.
that wishful thinking. Okay. And Mr. Ram, what about you? What is your perspective?
The goal is the destination, and dream is a journey.
Okay, dream is a journey and goal is a destination.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. So, Mr. Shaurya, do you think that like when it comes to pursuing our goal, so we as a human being really need motivation, because there will be times when we will fall, we are going to face failure. So at that time, point of time, do you think that motivation has a really great role to play in pursuing our goal?
Yes, motivation and inspiration we can get from very various people, and we can get from our role models which had a tough life, like they were poor or they did not get any opportunities. We can look into their lives and we can get inspiration and get motivated. Our parents are very good in motivating and inspiring.
Hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. And Shaurya, it's not inspirating, it's inspiring. Inspiring.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Ram, do you think that goal also varies depending upon the gender? What is your point of view, Mr. Shaurya? Do you think that when it comes to goal, does it also depend upon the gender?
Yes, it can to some extent. Like if we talk about cricket or basketball or football, anything, it is mostly on the international level or national level. It is played in males, but like we can say, cricket is also played in by females, and everything is played also by females. But no one knows that, and no one sees that, and no one talks about it, and no one wants to talk about it.
Absolutely. No one wants to talk about it. And Mr. Ram, can you hear me? Because the next question is for you. We cannot hear you actually. Your audio is muted. Okay, I guess Mr. Ram cannot hear. Mr. Ram, please confirm once you are able to hear us. Okay, Sharia, so my next question to you. Yeah,
Sorry, sir.
okay, okay, all right. So, Mr. Ram, my question to you is, as Mr. Sharia answered, so the same question is to you, that do you think that goals also vary based upon the gender?
Sir, maybe or not, but I think it is not, because the goals are not the gender, not depend on the gender. Now we can see that the girls are equal to the boys, and they are in every field, and they also uh, reach the top place in every field. It doesn't mean that you are a boy or you are a girl, so you set this goal, or you set that goal, so it doesn't mean. Now the goals are gen, I'm not correct the word, actual word, that the goals does not depend on the gender.
Hmm. Yes, absolutely. Now, before we proceed, Mr. Ram and Mr. Shaurya, wherever you are, just do one thing. Could you please clap like this? Just chapati clapping. Just chapati clapping. Could you please do it for me? Yeah. Chapati clapping, please. Wherever you are. Good. Very well. Very good. Now, Mr. Shaurya and Mr. Ram, could you do like this? Yeah. Could you do like this? Yes. I know English. I can be better at English. No one could defeat me. Today I am talking about my goals, and very soon I'm going to achieve my goals. Yes. Good. Great. Amazing. And Mr. Shaurya, do you have any bottle of water alongside you? Please take water. Mr. Ram, I advise you also to please take some water. Please take some water. Take 1 minute. Take 1 minute. Take water. Hydrating yourself is very much necessary. Good. Take some time in between. Take water. Good. Hydrate yourself. Keep on hydrating yourself. Good. Now, Shaurya, my next question, once I ask you the next question, what you have to do, you have to use your hands too. You have to use your hands as well. Yeah. For example, if I ask you, Shaurya, like, what is your dream? So you have to say like this, sir, my dream is to become an astronaut. You have to use your hands. Okay. You have to use your body posture. All right.
So, sir, can I just plug in my laptop? Sir, the battery is going dead.
Sure, 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 sure. Now you have to move your hand and body posture. Okay.
Right?
And
And say what? Just this line.
No, no, no. You don't have to say this line. Whatever question that I am about to ask you, you have
Okay.
to use your body posture while answering. And the same goes to you as well, Mr. Ram. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So plug in the earphone and just move your hands, body posture. Okay. All right. My next question to you, Mr. Shaurya, that have you, could you talk about some goals which you have set earlier and you have achieved it?
Mm. Uh, what have I achieved? Yeah, I always wanted to do coding. Now I have learned HTML, CSS, JavaScript, which many people cannot learn. I have completed my goal like this, and my school classes are going very well. My half this semester, my half yearly uh, result came, and I have scored 99%. So that's very nice, and, and that's it for now. मतलब short term goals.
Good, very good. You scored 99%. Oh my God. And you learned about all these coding at such earlier ages. Mr. Ram, what do you think? Do you think, is it a kind of miracle to you?
Yes, sir. Nothing left actually.
Yeah, nothing is left. Yeah, everything is already learned. So, Mr. Ram, the same question for you. It is also for you. So, I would also like to know from you that what were the goals which you set for yourself and you achieved it with flying colors?
Well, as my goal is similar to everyone, that everybody wants to have a position in the government institution. So earlier it was from where I have done my course, and while one day me I and my friend was outside the university gate and at the bus stop. Then we decided that once we will study here, definitely we will study here. But I wanted to study in a medicine course, but it didn't happen. And I studied in the same college, but with a different course. And then same thing happened also another time when I was going through the by the bus from outside of my institution. Then my senior, I was with my senior. He said me that that this is the institution where we have to be. And finally, I reached there. So this is my actually the goal which I have achieved.
Amazing. Seriously, Mr. Ram, it is a really inspirational thing. It is a really inspirational thing. To which my next question to you, Mr. Shaurya, as you mentioned that, sir, in goals, both motivation and inspiration is required. So, do you think that motivation and inspiration both are different, or they are similar kind of things?
Motivation is uh, is like is like inspiration is like getting is studying closely the mistakes of our role models, and hey, inspiration is like learning from our role models and looking into their lives, and motivation we can get from any. I don't know the answer.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. All right, all right. Mr. Ram, what do you think?
So what's the question?
The question is that do you think that motivation and inspiration are these two similar things or are these different?
The outcome is similar, but these are the different things. That as an inspiration is a thing which we get from the other person, and by his performance. And while the motivation is the self activation, and which we can take from the other person or from ourselves also. So that's why, but they both are both work on the same platform. That's why both are different and both are same.
Amazing. I would like to give only one example. For example, we have two sources of lighting, artificial and natural. If I talk about natural light, so for example, sunlight is there. So sun does not need anybody to or any external source to light it up. So sun, if I talk about sun, it is an inspiration. On the other hand, if I talk about the light bulb, so what happens that once we switch it on, then only it goes. So it is a motivation. So inspiration always comes from within. You do not need anybody to inspire you. It always comes from within, from your actions, from your efforts, from your success. On the other hand, motivation is an external factor. You look up to somebody, you learn from them, and then it acts as a motivation. So this is our only difference. If you ask me to simplify it, then this is the difference.
Sir,
Okay.
sir, motivation comes from inside or inspiration?
Inspiration comes from inside. That's why we call it inspiration, inside, right? And motivation comes from outside. So that is the difference. Good. And
I
yeah.
told sir exactly opposite.
Okay, so this is the difference. This is the only very simple definition of the difference between inspiration and motivation. Okay, so Shaurya, my next question to you that we talked about role model. So who is your role model when it comes to your family? In your family, who is acting as a role model for you?
My father.
Your father. Great. What your father does?
My father is a CA chartered accountant.
Great, amazing, fantastic. And what about you, Mr. Ram? In your family, who is acting as a role model?
Sir, if I talk about the role model, everyone in my family is my role model because everyone has a different challenge and they live life differently and from them you learn various things so which really helps you.
Hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. And Ram, my next question to you that when it comes to goals means success. And when it comes to success, do you think that earning money or having financial freedom, it is actually the only parameter to define that you have achieved goal?
No sir, actually we see the goal differently while the success is different. uh, there is no definition of success.
Hmm.
Success are the meaning of the success are it depend on the person to person. If someone has nothing in his life and he gets the thing very easily, or if someone gave him, then it will be a success for him. While
Hmm.
a person who is searching for a success, he will have to do a lot of things and 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 after getting those things even he will not be satisfied and he start his search again. So in his perception the goal and the success is different. So the we can say that mm, the success cannot be achieved, the goal cannot be achieved until or unless you are success,
Hmm.
and there is no definition.
Absolutely, Mr. Ram. Very nice answer. Mr. Shaurya, what about you? Do you think that achieving goal means that having a lot of money? Do you think so? Your audio is muted, dear.
So, uh, no, goal can be different from money also. Like, goals can be like staying fit. Goals can be uh, excelling in one field. Ex, like if you want to be an athlete, so excelling in that, running fast, or be a uh, or, or a motivational speaker. So success does not mean money.
Okay, good. Very good answer. Success does not always mean money. Okay. And Mr. Shaurya, I know that I am asking a lot of questions, but still I am uh, very much curious to know it from you. That Shaurya, do you think that learning English communication, if you learn English communication, it is also going to help you in achieving your goal?
uh, in the way, matlab, in the journey it will. Because English communication, we have to communicate to everybody. Like everywhere we go, we have to communicate to one person or the other, and we have to do in English only these days.
Great. And what do you think, Mr. Ram? Though you mentioned that your short-term goal is to have a very much grip into English communications, but still I would like to know that, let's say if you achieve this goal, do you think that a lot of opportunities are going to open for you?
Sure, sir. Because I'm good at English, then definitely I don't have any hesitation while going in public, while interacting with the language or and I can it will give me the freedom to start or to think about the new things, new career. So definitely it will help me.
Amazing, amazing. I'm really happy to know, and I would be glad if I could be of your help in some way or other. So, Mr. Shaurya, finally, my last question to you is, Shaurya, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So, Shaurya, like, how do you think? Like, now I would like to know your feedback since this is the demo which you talked about. So, at first, I would like to know your point of view. After that, I'll explain